Streamer University is officially back, and oh boy am I excited about this one. So, earlier today, we saw how Cenat officially announced that Streamer University is officially back with an enrollment trailer. And believe it or not, this trailer is more interesting than it might seem at first. And here's why. So I'm sure that a lot of you were waiting for this moment for multiple reasons. Number one, it's the official return of Cenat to streaming. We all know that he retired from streaming because he wants to focus more on the fashion industry and he wants to focus on his brand. Kai literally was on top of the world when he officially announced that he was gonna retire from streaming to follow his next big dream. And I get it. He already achieved everything that he wanted throughout streaming, and he just needed a breath of fresh air. And no, it's not the kind that you can just get by going outside and touching grass, because that's not what I mean. He wanted to do something different, and he just wanted to achieve a new goal that he set up for himself, you know, even if he had to take a little break from what he does mainly, which is streaming. But we all knew that he was eventually coming back because of Streamer University. And apart from that, we also have those who were just waiting for this moment because they're trying to achieve their own dreams of becoming a big successful streamer. And for most of you that actually want to achieve this, it's things like this that are the perfect opportunity to actually grow, get a decent amount of exposure. Well, if it can be called decent, because let's face it, it's surreal and it's huge. It's a fucking huge project. We also know that if you're a small streamer and you do actually get accepted into Streamer University, you're gonna be collabing with a lot of different streamers, either small ones or big ones, you know? I personally consider Streamer University one of the best sources to do collabs with other streamers or to actually get recognized. So like I said, this project is one that was very much anticipated by a lot of people for different reasons. Either if you're just a viewer and you just enjoy watching other people's content, or like I said, if you're a small streamer that's trying to make it in the streaming business and the content creation business as well. And just like last year, I'm sure we're gonna have a lot of content to see, and there's gonna be a lot of interesting people this year. So let's talk about the trailer for a bit, because believe it or not, I have some theories that I got just from watching the 2-minute and 37-second video. So in this video, we see how Cenat enters the Streamer University headquarters, or what seems to be a simulation of it, and we immediately see a lot of owls. And you know, the comedic side of this is that the owls are the ones that deliver the applications to those who actually got accepted, just like it happens in Hogwarts in Harry Potter, because obviously we all know where the inspiration for all this came from. And of course, we see that Chris is frightened because they took over, you know, and as Kai keeps saying who, well, they keep appearing, and Chris tries to silence Kai and says stop saying that because they're just gonna keep coming. Sure, it's funny and it's appealing to a younger audience. It even gets to a point where the owls start chasing them, and Kai even swats one of them, trying to get away from them, and eventually he just puts in all the applications and sends them off, and you see that while someone's in the city, he catches one of these applications and he opens it. Like I said, this is more of a comic relief, if it makes sense, because you know, it's a funny thing that's happening to them and they're just trying to grab the attention of younger viewers, just like I said. But what if I told you that this actually has a different meaning? And don't worry, I'm not gonna talk about some crazy conspiracy theory or any of that. You see, the owls aren't just owls. They also represent us. Why, you may ask? It's simple. When Cenat arrived and he actually went inside the building, these owls, we see that they're always keeping their eyes on Kai. And as he starts talking and he says who, more owls appear, right? I'm pretty sure that these owls represent us as viewers, as in we're watching Kai, we see that he's coming into Streamer University itself, and once we're all grouped up, we swarmed in to try and get close to Kai. And if you think about it, it actually makes sense, because if Cenat gets spotted in public, I'm pretty sure there's gonna be a commotion, you know, and there's gonna be a lot of fans trying to interact with him for different reasons. Maybe it's just because you want a photo, maybe it's because you want an autograph, or maybe it's because you want an opportunity to blow up. You see where I'm going with this? This isn't just comic relief. And who knows, maybe I'm just ranting and, he just wanted to see the comical side and he didn't actually notice that he gave it a double meaning. But that's actually just a theory that came to my mind when I saw the trailer and I saw it again to actually confirm that maybe it had a double meaning, But that's not all. You see, before he actually gets to interact with Chris in the video, we see how Kai is looking at the uniforms and he's like, don't tell me these are supposed to be the new uniforms, and we see that they're all torn apart. It looks like the owls actually got a bit busy by destroying the uniforms itself. And here's what came to mind when I saw that scene. So like I mentioned before, we all know that Kai retired from streaming to follow a dream inside the fashion industry, right? So what if one of his next moves is to actually get all the students to have uniforms in the second installment of Streamer University? I know, but just hear me out, okay? It's all gonna make sense. First of all, it would be an amazing dynamic if the students actually had uniforms, because in a way it's actually gonna feel like they're in school, and as a viewer I know that it would be amazing to see. I know it's different in college, people just dress as they want, I know that, but keep in mind this is just part of the content creation process itself, and in my opinion I think it's gonna be an interesting dynamic if it actually happens. Not only that, but it's actually an opportunity for Kai to keep promoting his brand just by saying that the uniforms themselves were made by Vivet and himself. What better way to promote your clothing brand than with yourself as one of the biggest streamers, your friends, which are also big streamers, and to have a lot of different streamers, either big or small, wearing your brand as well, It's a great opportunity for advertisement for his clothing. And who knows, maybe after that, he will be releasing some stuff for the public itself without any relation to Streamer University. And who knows, maybe even during Streamer University, you would be able to actually buy merch related to it, I don't know, maybe it's just a wacky theory that I have, but in my eyes, it actually makes sense, and it may be one of the things that Kai hasn't revealed to the public yet, and it most definitely would be very interesting to see. The theory about Kai possibly using his clothing brand at Streamer University is not that far from becoming reality, because in one of the sections for application for admission for Streamer University, specifically under details and contact, we see that there are a couple of questions that need to be answered. One of them being your clothing size and your shoe size. So, it may be a possibility. And last but not least, when we see the Streamer University application for 2026, at least in the video itself, there's a seal that says selected alumni will return. So that means that people that were actually in Streamer University 1 are gonna be on Streamer University 2. And I'm pretty sure that this is something that's been roaming around the internet for a while now, because I think I heard something related to this, and if I'm not mistaken, it was on DDG's part that he read that selected alumni will return, and he was one of the ones that said, but what about the professors though? So this leaves us with the question, who may be those that are gonna return for this year's Streamer University? So first, let's get the obvious ones out of the picture. So we know that Chris is coming back. We know that Agent is most definitely gonna come back, maybe as a professor, just like he did last year. I'm sure that Duke is gonna be returning as well. And believe it or not, I think that DDG is also coming back. I saw Streamer University last year, and I can most definitely say that one of my favorite professors was DDG. I don't know if any other professors that were last year are gonna be appearing this year at Streamer University. Like for example, Extra Emily. I know that she was a professor as well, and I know that she's still active, so she may be coming back as well, and maybe India Love, but who knows. On the alumni side, we obviously know that Rakai is coming back, because let's face it, Rakai is coming back. And along with Rakai, I'm sure that we're gonna see more of Ray, because let's face it, Ray is someone that keeps getting asked if Cenat's coming back, and he's always said that Kai is eventually coming back, but just give him space and he will come back when he's ready. Which leaves us with this: will all the Clover boys be at Streamer University? Maybe. Of course, not a lot of information is out there right now, and applications just got opened, so right now it's fair game for everyone, unless you haven't worked on your career as a streamer or as a content creator itself, and that's the only way that I see that you're not gonna be selected. Now, I'm not gonna get too much into this because I know there's a lot of possibilities. I know there's a lot of streamers right now, and there's always someone new going viral, and like I said, it's fair game for everyone, you know? We're just gonna have to wait and see who is actually getting selected. And of course, if you're a content creator or a streamer and you actually want to apply for this, you can actually go to streameruniversity.com and apply. You see, when you go to that website, it actually says admissions port open, applications open, class of 2026. This is where the next chapter begins. We can't wait to see your story unfold. Cenat, Dean of Students. When you actually hit apply, we see that you can apply as different things, either a student, professor, or club director. We have questions like, did you participate in Streamer University 2025? Yes or no. Of course, you're gonna put your full name, date of birth, gender, email address, and if you're an international applicant or not. So depending on what you're selecting as a category, either student, professor, or club director, you would have to fill out some different stuff. For example, if you hit that you want to be a professor, you need to let Kai's team know what your class will be called, and you will have to give a brief description of your class. And if you're a club director, you would have to select a club, describe the club, and how you would want to run it. And, you know, just try as best as you can to see if you can actually convince them to make you one of the club directors. You can put in as many social media platforms that you have, some details and contact information, like, for example, your nearest airport, your clothing size, your shoe size, emergency contact name, emergency contact phone, your rank top 3 clubs, which can actually be fraternity, drama, debate team, basketball team, musical arts, cheer team, film club, and science. And the last category or section is uploads and cameraman. So here you need to upload your photo ID. You're gonna show why you deserve a spot at Streamer University. So you have to make a video submission of a minimum of 1 minute. And there's a cameraman policy. It says, cameramen are approved case by case. We will notify you if yours has been approved. We do not cover travel costs for cameramen as they're not required to be successful at Streamer University. Cameramen are under strict supervision and are not allowed to make their own content. If these rules are broken, both student and cameraman will be sent home and banned from all future events. And then you gotta accept the terms of service and policy. And there's a section that says, after reading the above, I am requesting a cameraman. So this just means that if you have a cameraman with you and you want him to be at Streamer University, you gotta cover all of his expenses. Or, you know, he has to cover his own expenses. So that's all there's to it for now. We'll just have to wait and see who actually gets selected, what other announcements Kai actually gives us, and we would also have to wait until Streamer University actually starts to see if these theories that we discussed today are actually gonna come true. But tell me, what do you think about the return of Streamer University, the return of Cenat, and who do you want to see in the second installment of Streamer University? And remember, if you enjoyed this video, please don't hesitate, leave yourself a like. I would really appreciate that. And if you haven't already, please subscribe.